Hello everyone, this is Colin Sweeney with Sweeney Engineering, and I got some requests for a demonstration of the high performance trigger. So I can't get to the range today, but I can give you a brief dry fire test, and that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to remove the slide so you guys can see what's going on here. I'll put that aside for now. And we'll give you a bit of a close-up here. Hopefully you can see everything really well. And the performance of this is 3.5 pounds and less than 1 millimeter of travel. So I'm going to go pull the trigger here, and you can watch as it works. And we'll do it a couple more times. And I've cocked it all the way back and put it under the sear so you can see that that does in fact engage properly as well. And then we'll pull the trigger. Once again to the sear. And then pull the trigger. And just for good measure, we'll do one where I clip it directly to the trigger and not the sear. And pull the trigger. Okay, so we'll do that again with the slide installed. So hopefully you can see everything here. I pulled it back without the trigger depressed, and we'll pull the trigger. Now I'm gonna keep the trigger held back and then recock the rifle and then release the trigger. And we'll pull the trigger again. Once again, holding the trigger depressed. We'll release the trigger and then pull the trigger again. So there's your dry fire demonstration. We'll do a couple more tests here for there's a couple other questions were asked. One of them was safety. So we will demonstrate safety functionality now. Right now the safety is disengaged. If I flip the safety into the safe position and attempt to pull the trigger, it does not release. If I put the safety in the fire position and pull the trigger, it fires. For the bolt hold open, we'll reinstall the slide for that demonstration real quick here. Okay. This is useful at the range during a ceasefire when you have to have your action open. As you know, the Wasser 10 model and most of the 7.62x39 models do not have an action hold open feature. So when they run out of ammunition, the action is closed. As you can see, you can, instead of jamming a piece of brass in here at the range, you can simply flip the safety lever up and it will hold the action open, which is kind of convenient. And to release it, simply pull back and you're good to go. Now we're going to do a pull test. I've claimed a pull weight of 3.5 pounds. And although I'll have to apologize in advance for my tester, which is this device, which I bought at a online store for very little money, it does seem to be fairly consistent. And I'm going to use a piece of string here so I can get a direct and straight pull for an accurate reading. Okay, that was a good one. I'll do this a couple times. That was really good, actually. I should mention that the trigger I'm currently pulling on here does have a couple hundred rounds through it. So it may be a little better after you've fired a few hundred rounds because, you know, the mating surfaces smooth out a bit. They get paired to each other, so it will be a little lighter after you fired a few rounds, but they start off at 3.5 pounds. So here we go again. And we'll recock it. And one more time for good measure here. For the next test, this is going to be somewhat abusive. I got the request for a safety test, not just the safety lever, but whether the trigger itself was safe. So I've kind of just contrived this drop test where I'm going to take the rifle, which is cocked, and I'm going to drop it from about a foot onto the workbench. And obviously the intent is for the rifle not to fire when dropped, which would obviously be detrimental. So let me reposition my camera here so you can see it. Okay, so rifle's on the desk. This is about a foot in the air. It's probably a little bit more, but we're gonna drop it and hopefully not break anything. Here we go. And hopefully not put a dent in the desk. As you can see, it did not fire. I'll do a better job of dropping it this time, I think. So there you go again, a foot in the air, no safety on, rifle's cocked. That definitely put a dent in the desk. But there you see, it has not fired. And I suppose for good measure, we'll drop it once on the side. Let me clear this area out a bit. So, rifle on its side, hopefully not going to hit anything and break it. We'll go about a foot in the air, and it is cocked. And as you can see, it did not fire, and the safety is on. Sorry, safety is off. Safety is off, so yeah, as to the question of is it safe, well, it's safe enough to take a divot out of your workbench when dropped and not accidentally fire. So hopefully this satisfies your questions. If you've got any more, feel free to shoot me a message and I will shoot you guys another video. Thanks for watching.